What is up, crazy fam? Guys, first of all, Happy New Year. I wish you guys all the very, very best. May this year be the best year of your life. This year, I want you guys to follow your dreams and crush every single goal that you guys have. And also, thank you for all the love and support that you guys been showing to the channel, man. It means the world to me. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Now, in today's video, we're gonna talk about what I think is one of the most broken things in the game. So let's not waste time and get right into it. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the one and only Recon Census. Let's get a few things out of the way here, right? I use Recon Census a lot. Currently, I am in the top 250 in the world, and I have used Recon Census a lot. Have I used other things like the turret? Have I tried the healing beam? Yes. But if you do have a very strong team, you can have another medium using a healing beam, for example, and then having one Recon Census on the team is absolutely insane. Let me explain why. If this was any other scenario where you had a player using wall hacks, we would all go nuts. And that's how it should be, right? Like if somebody's using wall hacks, they know at all times the position you're in. Like that literally changes the whole dynamic of the game. That's why it's considered cheating. That's why they get banned. That's just how it is in any PvP game out there, right? But guys, Recon Census is the exact same. There's no difference. You have wall hacks that are legal. That's about it. And you can use it at any time. But the way people function is kind of crazy, right? Because the beginning of the game, when I first used Recon Census, everybody was like, no, why are you using that? That's no, don't do that. Use the turret. Turret's cracked. Or use the healing beam because, you know, that's absolutely insane. Now, I'm not saying any of those things are bad. By the way, healing beam is amazing. Turret can be super clutch. But I was like, but guys, I can literally see through walls. We can have somebody else using a healing beam, but why would we have two healing beams or two turrets or even three when we can have one recon and know exactly what the enemy is doing at all times? Like that was such an easy thought process for me, right? But at the beginning, because some of the top players or the big streamers didn't use these abilities such as Recon Census, a lot of people didn't touch it. They were like, oh, look, this guy's using a turret. This guy's using a healing beam because the game is fresh. A lot of those top players and streamers didn't even check out Recon Census as much. But now it's changing. Now you see a lot of those top players be like, wait a minute, we're running two mediums. One of us can run a healing beam and the second guy can run Recon Census. Let's just agree on that because guys, it's wall hacks. Now that they're starting to use it more and more, you see way more people switch to it, which eventually is going to be a huge problem. And it's not like some kind of crazy thing to understand why that's happening because some of these players are absolutely insane, right? They're in top 500, top 100, top 50, even top 10, whatever it is. And then you see them go to Recon Census because they realize how broken it is. And then you're like, oh, okay, I see now. It's absolutely broken. I should use it, right? So now when this happens and people drop the healing beams, you don't see them as much or the turrets, and you see a lot of people using Recon or at least one medium on the enemy team using Recon, you understand how powerful the ability is. But what makes Recon so powerful, right? Like you might be asking about Pip, it's not that bad. Okay, in a game like the finals where strategy, team play is key, having somebody on the enemy team that can literally tell where you are when you're pushing is absolutely insane to me. Especially if that person is able to do good callouts, pretty much any kind of strategy that you have goes out of the window. In general, I feel like adding these kind of abilities in games, in PvP games, I should say, unless you manage to balance it really, really well. Like, for example, you have Bloodhound in Apex, right? And Bloodhound's ability, yes, you can spot people, but it's not as bad as Recon. Recon is literally you get the live information of the enemy player at all times. So that becomes a problem, and especially in a game where you don't have a role queue, so you can queue as 3 mediums, right? For example, and let's say 2 of them go Recon, or let's say 3 of them go Recon. That means that every person you encounter at any time will know exactly where you're going, will know exactly where you are at any time. Anytime. That is absolutely crazy, right? So they have a huge advantage. They can pre-fire the angles. They can see you running under them. They will always take high ground. People obviously understand how broken it is, which will cause way more people to use it, which then will catch the attention of Embark Studios, and they'll have to do something about this ability. So if you're not using it now, trust me, you should, because I guarantee you this in the future will change. Now, keep in mind, if they do push role queues, I feel like that's a huge positive for the game. There's going to be a lot of the issues that the game has in general will be fixed with that, right? So for example, if you have 3 heavies spamming shields, going crazy, right? It's such a fun playstyle too. Like, that's the problem. If you're playing 3 heavies, you're having a great time, man. It's just so funny. So I'm not saying like it's a bad thing to do. You guys can play the game any way you want. I've always said that any game you play it the way you enjoy it, right? Like, that's all it's about. Like, you got to have fun. You got to create memories. You got to have a good time. And if you're hating every encounter, you're not enjoying anything, if you're forced to play glasses, where's the fun in that? Gaming used to be all about fun and having good time, right? And now it's all about numbers and KDs, and that's what people focus on. And then they're like, oh, why do I hate gaming? It's not fun anymore. But the point here is, like, if they do enforce role queues, which I think they will, at least for ranked, but this is just my opinion, I feel like that would fix a lot of the problems that the game has, including recon. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, if you have one medium on your team, now he has to make a decision, right? Like, do I heal my heavy and my light? Do I set up turrets in order to, you know, hold down the cash out a bit easier, or should I say much easier, you know, because turrets can be insane? Or do I go recon, do tons of call outs? So what I'm trying to say is they have to pick. You can't just have 3 mediums and then, you know, one has recon and one has healing beam and one has turret or whatever it is. So I feel like that would slightly fix the issue, right? But in general, I do feel like recon senses does need kind of a rework. Okay, now I don't know exactly, like, I can't really pinpoint what it should be, but I was brainstorming some ideas and I can throw out a few. For example, the cooldown. I feel like the cooldown is way too generous. I feel like recon is up pretty much all the time. Like, I don't think about, oh, if I press recon now, I'm not gonna have it for like set amount of time, so I'm not trying to pick the correct moments to use it at the perfect time so I actually get the most out of it, right? I can just spam it at this point, and that's the reality. And if it's spammable, if I literally have spammable wall hacks in a video game, bro, I don't understand how people do not use it. It's so crazy to me. And especially, I see triple mediums with 3 turrets. Really, 2 wasn't enough, and one of you guys couldn't run a recon just to know exactly where your enemies are at all times? Really? You guys didn't think about that? You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to me that this is a thing, but people do play this way. As I said though, I do believe that as time goes by, people will stop doing this. You're not gonna see triple mediums with triple turrets or triple healing beams. They're gonna stop doing that because slowly people are realizing how absolutely broken this ability is. And once again, it all comes down to perspective, guys. When you see somebody using wall hacks, we all go nuts. Ban that man right away, right? Like, that only makes sense. He's a cheater. He should be banned. But we have the same thing in the game. It's literally an ability that you can slap on at any time and use it to the same effect that people go out of their way to pay money to get cheats, then get banned, or even get their PC completely banned, and then do it again and again and again, spend, I don't know, God knows how much money to get into the game with the cheats, and yet we have it in the game. That's all I'm saying. It's absolutely crazy. So when it comes to reworking it, I would say that, one, the cooldown for sure. They have to increase the cooldown. Like, it has to be higher. Another thing is, they can just change the way it works, right? Like, let's say you get like 2 or 3 uses per recon until it goes on cooldown, but every use, it's like a pulse, right? Like, a pulse goes out and then you see everyone around you, like a big pulse, big area, whatever. You spot people around you and then it goes quiet. And then if you press it again, there's another pulse that goes out, and you can do that, let's say, 3 times until it goes on cooldown, right? Like, and the cooldown should be way more, you know, like, the cooldown should be something that really gets you to think when you should use it, right? There should be stakes. There should be some kind of risk and reward kind of thing. And right now, Recon Senses doesn't have that. Recon Senses is just absolutely free. It is absolutely broken, in my opinion. As I said, as a player that uses it, right? It's just so powerful. Like, especially if I have a decent team. My teammates are in the top 300 or top 500. We're playing a lot of this game and we're getting better and better and better. But as time goes by, I just don't see a reason why I'm not going to use Recon Senses in this current state, right? If we do want healing, somebody can always switch to medium and have that healing beam on the team. I have some of my teammates that are absolutely insane on the heavy class. We're talking like destroying lobbies. They are so good at that class, right? So yeah, one of us can heal, and then I'm gonna play Recon at all times because it just makes the game easier, unless I'm tired after like a 17-hour play session and I can't even make callouts anymore. But other than that, there's no real downsides to using Recon. Not only are you extremely valuable for your team, but guys, you're literally gonna be winning most of your 1v1s or 1v2s even, because once again, you have the information at all times about your enemy player, about the enemy player. That's just what it is. So overall, I feel like Recon Senses with more time will become more of a problem, because it will become boring to play in an environment where your enemy knows your next step at all times. And that's gonna happen. That's just what it's gonna be, because people are realizing how good it is. Start using it, man. Start using it. I think it's gonna change. I think they're gonna do something about this. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it will. So this is currently, in my opinion, one of the most powerful abilities in the game, or should I say not abilities, sorry, specializations in the game. Make sure to let me know what you guys think about this topic in general in the comment section below. Now, for all the people that don't know, by the way, I do stream here on YouTube, and I will be helping my viewers get to diamond rank in the future. So if you're looking for those beautiful diamond skins, you guys know where to find me. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you on the next one.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I mean, we literally have the best community of all time. Oh! Oh, we got no scopes!